Hello and welcome to my cataclysm of fun that I like to call furniture in my cupboard / office space. Look, this is my cupboard of board games. Now, you may remember seeing Quentin's collection of board games, much more impressive than mine. A lot of Quacks action going on there, a lot of piles of things. Unfortunately, I have a housing situation where I live with somebody who doesn't really want me to fill the house with board games, which is obviously an unfortunate reality for someone with my job. But it's fine, because I've learned to deal with that. And it just means that, like, by keeping things relatively contained, I actually think really carefully about what gets added to my collection or what gets taken out.
Matt, you're going crazy. These are just grey cubes. There's no games in them at all.
Are the 3 board games I have chosen for my collection.
Okay, what's this top one?
Grey Box
What's
one.
the middle one?
This is the expansion to Grey Box. It's called Return of the Grey Box.
And the bottom one?
Bottom one is Grey Box 2.
Okay, well this was a short video. Thank you very much for your help, Matt.
Some of the best games, keep your eyes out for them in the best retailers. No, I've got some games in here, look. Pop it open.
What? No!
So this is actually the most bare of my cupboards, and we'll come back to that in a minute. We're going to start off at the bottom, just like everyone does in life. So, at the bottom, we've got some heavy stuff. Now this is the stuff which is either, honestly, it's just emotionally important to me in some ways. Like Pipeline, I just adore. It's just doing horrendous things with money and Euro games. Forbidden Stars, I haven't played in ages, but I just like having it. It makes me happy.
It's out of print now, of course.
It is out of print, and it's like, yeah, I liked having it. And also like Altiplano. Keyflower and Alchemist actually were 2 things I got from your collection when you had to have a massive cull because you had to clear out your improbably large attic.
Yeah.
And you had like an insane storage space, and then you're like, no, I can't, this isn't tenable.
300 mediocre games above me while I slept.
Yeah, but then some real gems which I've taken here. Neither of these I've got around to playing, but I'm both looking forward to them because I know they're both going to be like really interesting and really good.
Alchemist is so interesting.
Yeah, and like Keyflower maybe not as interesting now, but is very interesting for when it came out. I don't know, maybe it's still interesting, we'll find out. And then I've got Komet down here, the big Egyptian boy. Obviously I have got the expansions in there, but I just don't know when I'm going to play with him, as you might have seen from
the expansions in the base box.
Yeah, it's all in one box, but I just think, you know, it makes the box uncarryable aroundable.
Okay, I have some strong opinions on this, because I throw away all my expansion boxes and I put them all in the base box, and I thought I was a really clever boy, but now I think that's bad and stupid and wrong, because once you've got 3 expansions in the box, it's so hard to open it and be like, what, wait,
yeah, you can't remember how to set it.
Do I want to play with?
Yeah, I have bagged it up separately, but even so, it's like, it's...
Oh, that's clever.
It's a bit much. Imperial Assault, I've probably I keep thinking, I had a really fun campaign with some friends, and we keep being like, we should do it again, but you get older and people get busy. I really love it though. Again, it's funny how like when we do this job and we get the opportunity to play new things very frequently and get new things and try new things, I find that things I actually want to keep in my collection aren't necessarily even things I play that much anymore, but they're just things that make me happy to have.
Yeah, it's almost like aspirational, right?
Yeah. Like maybe in the future I'll have time to do another Imperial Assault campaign. Ooh. Gloomhaven though, actually I do keep getting out, and that is the one thing in my collection which is massive that does get table time. Usually in mad spurts. I usually just have a week where I'm like, I'm just going to play Gloomhaven this week.
Yeah, that was like you had a breakdown and it was great.
Yeah, it was wicked. 60 hours in 1 week.
Here we go. This is the money shot. I'm so excited by this.
All right, so Tigris and Euphrates. I bought that immediately after we reviewed it. I don't think I've actually found anyone who will play it with me yet because it's just too thinky. But again, aspirations. One day I will meet the genius of my dreams and we will just do that. Ladies and gentlemen, I reviewed it in retrospect. There's things about that I wouldn't do now today. I have very different feelings about cross-dressing, etc., but it's still a very close game to my heart, and I've got a lot of love for it, as do lots of people who saw the review. Lowlands is part of my...
Underrated!
No, I'm not saying it's underrated.
No. People on the internet think it's underrated.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's in shrink?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's my shrink of shame.
Oh, wow.
But in my defence, that's only because a lot of people I know bought it, and I've played it quite a few times since we reviewed it. Well, I didn't actually do that review, but I've played it quite a few times since then, just at other people's houses, other people's collections. Baron Park and the expansion. This actually annoys me because actually this is one of the things where like I cannot...
Take your time, Matthew. Have a think.
You cannot fit the monorails from the expansion into the main box unless you flatten them all.
Wait, what can I see?
Well, the thing is, at the moment, I did a really bad job of packing it up after finishing the review because I had some difficulties with the Baron Park review. Well, the expansion review. So this has just got some of it in, but these are the monorails. And there's some of the monorails, but you can squish them down like that. But I just feel a bit weird about doing that. And also then I kind of worry that if you keep doing that, then you're going to mess up the... I'd rather keep them like this.
This is no longer you performing for a video. I've accidentally sent you into... This is what Matt... If you imagine the cameras had stopped rolling, this is what Matt would be doing.
Yeah, but this is the thing about it, right? Because then you've got the situation where I don't want to fold them, because then I think unfolding them and folding them might just damage them over time. But then also then you just have a box which is maybe just like a box that's just like this, but for the whole thing, just to store these monorails. And I like the monorails, but yeah, this wasn't something in the review, but it's like, it does kind of annoy me that I can't put it all in one big box. Mainly because actually Baron Park is like, it's a pretty tight box, which you'd not expect. A lot of cardboard in that. We've got the Arkham Horror card game, some of which is, I mean, again, this is like rammed as well. This is just the base game and some of the early bits.
Fantasy Flight did this now with the... They've corrected this. The Marvel Champions card game comes in a big box with a storage solution, which is great because you buy your Arkham game, you buy a bunch of expansions, what are you supposed to do?
Yeah, exactly. So I've actually got some other expansions just in bags up there, really.
I want to see how you store your Keyforge stuff.
My Keyforge stuff is not really... Well, Keyforge is odd, right? Because it's not like another CCG where you're going to, like, file them. This is just, like, jam-packed full of decks. Like, there's nothing else to it, you know?
Do you remember what your favourite decks are? Oh my god, this is a disaster.
These are my bits. These are my Keyforge bits.
Right, that's an official Fantasy Flight bag, right?
This comes officially from Fantasy Flight, yeah. Made in Taiwan.
$9.
And then, yeah, I mean, wow, which ones are the good ones? We've got some really good ones. I think the problem is with this is I remember the names, but then I can't remember. Like, I remember that, like, Leaf Godmore from the Monk's Mausoleum was either brilliant or awful.
Oh, good.
You know?
Well, if you know it's one of those two things.
Oh, I remember Alonzo of Large Ground was junk. I remember that. But I've got a bunch of these unopened as well. I'm actually looking forward to, like, I've just got sent some of the new stuff to the office. I should point out, like, I've got, like, a little shared office space, so all of my, well, the vast majority of my to-review pile is not here, it's somewhere else. Because
I can just do a little sneaky pan over it.
That's some stuff that's going to go into the office to check out. I've had this for a long time and I really want to check it out. I've just been waiting for the right moment. This, I've got no idea if it's good or not. Literally no idea.
Leave a comment, let us know.
Yeah, Hellboy might be quite good. I've got a friend who really likes Hellboy, so I want to check that out with him. Bunny Kingdoms and Bunny Kingdoms in the Sky.
Should we tell the people that what happened with Bunny Kingdom?
What happened?
Well, I mean, I really like Bunny Kingdom in the Sky. We've done a review, but then you were like, Quins, we have to bring it out to more people. Got to do a video.
Yeah, no, I want to check out Bunny Kingdoms. I love it. I think it deserves love because bunnies deserve love. I said it.
Hang on, no, lift Hellboy up. Lift Hellboy up. Lift Hellboy up. Lift Hellboy up. See, look, if you just expand your fife by just a hair.
Yeah, that's very good, Quins. Very good. Also, we've got some more Gloomhaven here. Forgotten Circles. And Abomination. Will it be an Abomination? Who knows? I have my thoughts, and I haven't opened it yet. But yeah, Gloomhaven could be interesting. I mean, yeah, that expansion could be interesting. I might wait for some more before I really dive in. Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective. Not going to explain that one. Last Will. You know, I've played that a few times since. I wonder how well this one's aged, having played so many more things since. But I did enjoy it last time I played it. I just love the theme so much. Just spending money running around with overweight gentlemen.
One of the best themes of any Euro game ever, I think.
I think so. Brass Birmingham, though, is the daddy. I think it's just a beautiful thing. And I increasingly love how simple the box is. Just small.
You know, honestly, like, you know, just to double back to your you know, partnership for a second. I think if more board games had a box like Brass Birmingham, there would be less board games hidden in cupboards, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, this could happily sit on a bookshelf and people would just look like a book, which maybe is not a great thing if you want to sell it in a shop. I don't know. Anyway, but, you know, not all games have that in Brass. I get it. It's tough out there. People got to do what they got to do. Now, Cosmic. We'll come back to Cosmic. Inish, obviously. Fantastic. Love it. Lots of people hate it. Completely understand that. I got Sheriff and I got the expansion. Still haven't managed to try that yet.
I was about to say, do you rate it? Yeah.
I mean, I had a quick dabble with it, but I haven't really had a chance to properly play it. I think the idea of having double sheriffs could be really interesting. That might be one for this Christmas. I find that my in-laws...
That's a great idea.
Well, my in-laws have the patience for like one, maybe two family Christmas games, and it means like I just basically put it out in front of them and say, hey, what do you fancy? And I'd love to play more with them, but people get tired, you know. You forget that not most people can play 3 new games in a day without being exhausted.
It's tiring, man.
It is. Lords of Vegas, you know,
Classic.
it's classic. Like, it has so many things that aren't quite right about it, but I love it.
Oh, it's so good.
I need to get the I really need to get the expansion that lets you build up.
Because the expansion lets you build
just
up.
called up. Because I think that like fixes a lot of the things that aren't quite right.
Yeah, Mike Selenka did say he wouldn't play Lords of Vegas without up anymore.
Yeah, which is why I want to get it. Arctic Scavengers.
That's the big box. It's got the expansion.
It's got everything. You know, Arctic Scavengers, like, this is one of these games where, like, I've had this for such a long time and I've hardly played it and I really want to play it more, but I just never quite find the right time. And I think a lot of the problem with that is that this is great having everything like this. Yeah, this is not... Well, it's great. Everything's just really neatly... It should be everything just in the right place, but it's got a bit bodged up. But the problem is when I open it up, I kind of want some... I want a sommelier for it, you know? I want a little...
Oh, dude, this is what we were just talking about.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the thing of this is what happens if when you put all the expansions, what do you play with? You don't know.
Exactly. So you play the base game and you think that's quite fun, but then when I'm thinking about what to try with, I just don't know where to start.
This is why it's great that, of all things, I'm going to make a reference to Sushi Go Party, which in the manual is like, hey, are you playing with a large group? Are you playing with a small group? Do you want a cardboard game?
Yes.
Do you want Then it tells you which cards
exactly what to do. In retrospect, putting this in sideways is probably why I've had the problem I just saw. Oh. But never mind, I'll come back to that.
Of your own misery.
Another time. But this is a funny one, right? Because Arctic Scavengers is very close to being a game in my collection. It's like, it just probably shouldn't be in my collection because I like it a lot, but I just never play it. Yeah. And it doesn't necessarily bring me joy just to have it and look at it in the same ways. This is an aspirational one. This is like, I want to play more of this, but I don't know where to start.
Again, you know, this is the one of those late stage revelations with Shut Up and Sit Down. You know, it's just like the most important thing about a game is arguably how easy it is to take off the shelf and play.
Yeah, or like how happy it makes you feel to have it in your house, and can you afford to do that?
Sure.
Which is a big thing.
But is it time to talk about Cosmic?
Cosmic, yeah. So my copy of Cosmic is pretty heavy at this point. It's also pretty grubby. The box, as you can see, is quite loved around the edges.
Yeah.
It basically lived in my kitchen in my kind of early career days, and everybody just played with it. And people actually got so into it they used to bring their friends around to play it specifically, and then get really crestfallen when their friends didn't like it or whatever. Like, what's the best thing in the world?
Your Cosmic box is doing the same thing mine is, though, where when you fill it with all the expansions.
Yeah.
The box becomes so heavy that it starts fraying at the corners.
Yeah, it's kind of buckling, and as you can see, there's some elements here I haven't really like opened or touched, and a lot of the cards are really quite dirty because they just got played on in a quite boozy kitchen many times. And I've still got at least one, there may be another one expansion which is just not opened yet, because when I do play it, it's quite fun to just be like, hey, when I play it with the old people I used to play with, like, just open a fresh expansion. It's that infrequent that it happens, but when it does, open a fresh expansion, you know that everyone is going to get something that no one's seen before, which is... If you're big into Cosmic, that's something that money can't buy. Like, a night of games where, like, you know you're all going to be seeing brand new things all night. Because when I first bought that, the idea that you would know, like, all 50 or 60 of the aliens off by heart seems insane. But you do. Like, I must have played that game so many times, and you just go, oh, not the sorcerer again. That's boring. Oh, sorry.
Oh God.
Sorry.
Respect the grey cube.
There we are. And now we move on to.
We've arrived.
This is.
You describe. Why did you describe this as, like, what was it, your worst shelf or whatever?
Well, it's just a bit like, basically for a long time I've had too many games, and I've kind of got rid of some recently. And I might need to get rid of some more. And this is just, it's the worst
Can I
way.
make a suggestion?
What?
Do you want to get rid of the Pandemic Legacy Season 2 that you finished?
Yeah, I know. Well, that's why I'm like, it's the worst shelf, because really it's like, this shouldn't be here anymore, because it's... I
can take it away. Just give it...
What are you gonna do with it?
Put it in the bin on my way out of the house.
You're going to do what you did with the last one? Put it in the bin?
Listeners to the Shut Up and Sit Down podcast. Look, there you go. It's in my hand. This video can end with me putting it in the bin.
Okay, perfect. V Commandos I'm holding on to.
I think, again, if people don't listen to the podcast, they're going to be really... I'm going to put...
They're going to be like, why
is me very wobbly.
It's pretty heavy. I mean, people are going to be like, why is Matt so into V Commandos? I'm not really.
It's good, though.
It is good, yeah. I want to play some more of it, and there's an Assassin's Creed game coming out. Which is going to be...
based on the V Commando system.
Exactly.
Which is actually why I think one of the reasons we checked out V Commandos, and then we found out it's good.
Yeah, no, it is good, and they keep sending me the expansions.
Oh, right.
So, but at the same time, it's like, it's quite fun. it's the sort of thing like I'm kind of secretly holding on to this because I think like maybe when my dad's old, it might be a thing I could go and do with him and keep him. It's like because he likes Commando-y things, and it's basically Commando is the PC video game, the board game.
You, I think, at Shut Up and Sit Down, are the biggest fan of designer Wolfgang Wosch. Right, and so we got Quacks and Taverns of Tiefenthal right there.
Yeah, so this is technically part of my to review pile, but it's already in my collection, so there'll be a review coming.
A little sort of preview. Of
you'll find out more about that. Quacks, I think, is wonderful. Some people hate it, but the more I think about it, the more I think that Quacks is the Mario Kart of board games.
I think Mario Kart has more staying power than Quacks.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, there's different tiers of Mario Kart, isn't there? But initially I just mean like full rubber banding, full silliness. No one's particularly good at it. Just the fact that you're sitting next to people whilst people go, ah! And everyone else laughs. It's just blue shells. It's more blue shells. But, I love it. And actually, you say that, but like I've played Quack so many times since we reviewed it. Like I keep loving showing it to people, getting it out.
You are a simple-minded
I am.
Though.
Mysterium, I get out less and less these days. I feel like I've had some fantastic times with that, but I feel like I've done it now.
It's got so much competition now. There's Obscurio, there's Paranormal Detective. People are just riding that Mysterium Dixit horse, and the horse is getting real tired.
The horse is there. I've got some of these little PAX Unplugged sleeves, which I aspirationally like the idea of going through and putting all of my dirty Cosmic Encounter cards and cleaning them up and putting them into these. I don't know if I'll ever do that. That seems the requirement of free time that I never have.
Okay, what's up here?
Fun Employed, party game, which I think is incredibly funny when played with the right people, and most people don't really agree with us on that, but that's fine because opinions are different. Bargain Quest is just lovely.
So good.
Lovely small box thing. These two are kind of in my question mark pile a lot of the time.
Ooh.
This is Pandemic.
You played so much Pandemic when I met you.
I did, and I've got Pandemic and all the expansions in those two boxes, kind of juggle between them, and yeah, I mean, I guess I played a ton of them to do some early reviews for Shut Up and Sit Down when I reviewed all the expansions, and so I think that's kind of partially why they have a soft spot in my heart, because I feel like that was the first big review project of being like, right, gonna really play test all these different things. And Pandemic as a game, for those who've not played it, is just brilliant. So it's
so good.
This is kind of just an emotional thing now.
You got the bioterrorist in there,
Yeah.
People always said, like, you finish Pandemic Legacy Season 1 or 2 and you get your unique copy of Pandemic that only you can play. But, I mean, I could see myself owning original Pandemic in my collection. I love the bioterrorist expansion. Love it.
When you've solved the puzzle of Pandemic, it's not as interesting, but the process of solving that puzzle with a friend or family is just beautiful. And I've got some some weird cards, some weird promotional Red Dead Redemption playing cards.
Okay.
Anyway, we've got this is where it gets a bit like, all right, this is my copy of Hey, That's My Fish, which I decided to throw away the frankly large box and just put it in a jiffy bag.
Wow.
Not a jiffy bag.
Wow.
My Arkham things.
Arkham the card game?
This is my... I got given this for free at some point
I'll back up.
by Fantasy Flight, and it's Rey and the bad one from Star Wars, the new version Star Wars, and I use this to play all my board games on, and it really annoys people.
You don't, do you?
I do.
Oh, man,
well, not all my board games, but I play Gloomhaven on this, and it's like it makes me laugh because it's just so incongruent, and also I don't even really like Star Wars. It's just like, this is the only one of these I've got, and I could just buy a nicer one, but at the same time I feel a bit weird about it, and I'm like, well, it exists. I don't want to throw it away. I don't want to buy another one, so I'll just use it.
When I played Netrunner, I was one of the only people in like hundreds of scenesters that I was playing against who had a completely blank playmat, because why would you have art assets on top of art assets?
I'd like a blank one, but I don't want to create another one that doesn't need to be existed. This is my print and play copy of Two Rooms and a Boom.
Oh my god.
Which is, like, as pointed out actually by Alan on the psychology podcast I think we did, some of it's pretty problematic these days, but he knows that, and it was a long time ago.
It's a lot of flip art assets.
Yeah, it was, but they just didn't think about it. Some of the stuff like just making a sexy nurse for no reason and being like, oh yeah. Anyway, I do actually want to buy a copy of Two Rooms and a Boom soon, because this has a lot of emotional value, but I would actually like a not copy, which is not.
Okay, I said something about that jiffy bag is making me embarrassed. Oh no, not Magic. Land Station.
This is the prototype for the first Monica's Nonsense box, which I kept, which has some cards which did not make the cut, such as the difference between affect and effect, which yeah, I mean, but I keep that as well because that was a fun process and it kind of reminds me of that. But it also, I forget it's in here and I always look in the cupboard and go, why have I got a Magic the Gathering land station in my collection? And it's like, no, don't worry, don't. And then this is just some of the gubbins from, don't look at that too closely because it's gubbins from Pandemic Legacy Season 2, including cards that my friend had drawn very lewd pictures all over.
Alright, Matt, you can't hide games from me. I've spotted over there. Mm-hmm. You weren't going to tell me about these games, but I found them.
These are the games that they don't want you to know about. These are all my little box games, and I store them here because it's a smaller space. So, we've got some great stuff here, though, some really great stuff. Like, Not Alone, I just think is just amazing, thematic, like really intense atmospheric stuff, and it's such a small box. Wouldn't My Ultimate Werewolf, I was really skeptical about. Honestly, mainly because I thought the art style was just really ugly. I'm not a fan of it at all. Some horrible font work. Let's not go into this. But it's fantastic. Avalon, again, I'm probably not going to play Avalon again. I'm kind of done with it. But I've had so many great times with it. And it's great to have it because every now and then people will be like, recommend me something like, and I'll be like, have you heard of this? I'll explain it to them and I can just lend it to them. And it comes back slightly more tattered, slightly more ruined, but it doesn't matter because it's being loved. The Crypto is absolutely brilliant.
What can be said about the Crypto that we haven't said already?
I mean, yeah, like, you know, when we reviewed it, I think like we kind of got that one wrong. I think it's a real classic. Pictomania is again brilliant, and in this tiny new box with pencils instead of pens, just lovely. This is Machikoro.
I was ogling this earlier and forgot that I gave it to you.
Yeah, you did, because you gave me the cards in the box, and yeah, this is basically I don't know how you ended up.
Japanese version of Machikoro.
Yeah, the cards in the box aren't. The cards in the box are in English, but I've got the Japanese box, and I love the Japanese box. It's beautiful. I'm actually pretty excited to check out Machikoro Legacy. I know you've been playing a bit of that.
I've been playing some Machikoro Legacy, Matt. It's good.
Yeah, we'll talk about it on the podcast soon. And then Ice Team is just bare chest, very cool. You might hear about that more in the future. Railroad Ink. Arboretum, although I'm kind of still gutted in the fact that I've got the Renegade version, which I don't think was given... Well, I mean, it literally wasn't given the love that I think this game deserves, in the fact that I have got the version of it which I believe has Arboretum spelt wrong on the cards. So, you know, you just think, that dark green box, I think, has a place in my heart. But
the original the Z-Man's edition.
But it's still a great game, and I'm still glad to have it, but it's not the same. And then we got some good ones here, and the fact that we got Burgle Bros, which I think is...
Oh, the Tim Fowers shelf.
Burgle Bros, I think, is actually, like, a fantastic game. The more I think about it, the more I think it's, like, a really great bit of design. And Tim Fowers puts out a lot of word games. I've got paperback here. I think I've also got hardback somewhere. And I never know what to do with them because I love word games, but I can't get people to play them because it's like...
Because you're so good at words.
Well, basically, like, I'm good at word
I can
games.
tell, Matthew.
Condottiere. Citadels, Masquerade.
Actually, Citadels is one of the games that has fallen out of favour for me.
Actually, I've not played it. I think I got it from you. I think you gave it to me because it was in your collection. You were like, have it. So that explains, that makes sense.
Masquerade, though.
Masquerade? I don't know, yeah.
Masquerade and Citadels fall into the same camp for me of like such exciting and fantastic novelties, but then aging not great.
But again, I keep them same as Avalon. Like Masquerade is something where if people have played things like Werewolf and they like the idea of it, they might have a really fun time with that, and that's all that matters. Coup, however, this was one of the first reviews I did for the opener, and I said I liked it, but I think I was kind of wrong in that review in the fact that the more I've played Coup, the more I realise I think it is just a modern classic. And I said at the end, like, it's good, but I'm like, no, it's not good. It's great. It's so good. Really easy to teach. You play a couple of rounds and then people are just dying to play 5 or 6 more. Fantastic. The game, I still haven't played this. I think you gave me this a long time ago to check out, and it's just because the back is entirely in German, so I never really have any idea of what it is. And I'm sure it's basically similar to The Mind, maybe?
It's the game. It's got similarities to The Mind.
I mean, it's a deck of cards from 1 to 100. So
it's good. Yeah, no, I'm making a little list in my head of the number of games you could play with a copy of the game.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Including The Mind.
Ultimate Werewolf, similar, again, just good to have these things to give to people. Insider, I want to play some more of that actually, because that is great. And what a lovely box. And then we've got all my Monica stuff. We've got original Monica's box, we've got one of the expansions, the more monikers, this was a video, which I have this because you brought this over so we could film it as part of the Kickstarter video for the first nonsense box because we didn't have a box. And this was the one this was the box that was like put it in your pocket. And then this was the actual box. And then I've got, it's not working. We've got the Metagame Games expansion that we made. That was fun. And then, there's the new Sonic Monica's Serious Nonsense box. Available online soon. I played this the other day with some friends and it was horrible.
Oh, what?
Yeah, no, just because I was so nervous the whole time because we just put so much love into this and I never actually played the last Monica's this nonsense box with people. I know lots of people who played it, but I never played it with anyone. But I found that actually the process of playing a game that you've basically had your fingerprints all over with other people is exactly the same thing as telling somebody that you love a film and then sitting down to watch it with them.
Wow.
But like way worse. Because every time the room is not having an amazing time. And if you've played Monica's, you'll know that really the game is an engine for enjoyment at the end of it. Mainly. Like it's the last bit is great and building up to that is like, it just made me, I was like, is that card bad? Oh no, they don't get... Yeah, no, it was not that enjoyable. Everyone else had a good time.
Well, that's good.
So that's all that matters.
On that particularly good note, are we done here?
I think that's it. And that's all the games she wrote. I've got some more room. I usually bleed out my collection up here as well.
At the overflow stack.
Oh my gosh, the blood has just all gone from my head from standing up quickly.
And people made fun of me for being out of breath while talking about my collection in one place.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of stuff. I feel like I've made some room for new stuff though, because this whole thing, this is brand new. I just moved this from out here, which means this, after I've because V Commandos is more of a live up here thing, it's not really a collection thing just yet. I've got, with a bit of feng shui, bit of Marie Kondo, and I've got some room for some new things to get added to the collection, so I'm excited about that.
What do you think your collection is missing?
I need to think about that, I think. I don't know. I don't know. I need to really look at what I've got and work out where the holes are. I'm hoping that I'm just going to play some stuff for review over the next year where I'm just going to be like, yeah, this is going in. This is going straight in. Maybe I'll just have a whole cover full of Wolfgang Warsch stuff. I don't know.
The Wolfgang Warsch cube.
I don't know. I just got Wavelength arrived in the office and
Oof.
I think there's a pretty good chance that's going to end up in here, frankly, because... I think I've maybe got enough heavy science fiction campaign / war games now, basically.
Well, do you want to recommend that people watch another video, such as the one on my collection?
Yeah, you can watch the video on Quinz's collection. He has loads of games. It's frankly ostentatious. Or, you could check out the thing we did about Comet recently. Yeah?
Yeah? Why
All the
not?
Comet expansions.
Why not?
I'm just coming up with things that are in my peripheral mind vision. Thank you for watching, and please leave us a comment telling me that I'm wrong about my games. Goodbye!